What is going on, Celtics Nation? Your Boston Celtics today have gotten another win today and are now above 500 on the season, beating the Brooklyn Nets today 113 to 99. You're tuned in to BSEN, Boston Sports Entertainment Network, under the Dynasty Proud podcast today. I'm your host right here, Parquet Poppy, and I got my boy Adrian here at NBA Swing Pass here to talk post game with me, man. What's going on? How you been?
Good. How you been?
Been doing good. Been doing good. Nice little win to get us above 500 today for the season. And the Boston Celtics, they let a double-digit point lead go down there in the second half, dwindle a little bit, but they were able to keep their composure and pull out that dub in the fourth quarter and get that third win in a row today.
Yeah. In first half, kind of sloppy foul trouble. Kata, Walsh. Brooklyn had a little bit of a run. Turnovers was the story of the game. Imagine if they didn't turn the ball over, how much they'd win by. I think the last count was 17.
Yeah, and they gave up a lot of points on those turnovers today too.
Yeah,
But were able to
yeah,
survive it, thankfully.
yeah. It would have just cakewalked. I mean, they did at the end. Jalen and Derek were big in the fourth, pull away,
Oh
but
yeah. Oh yeah. Jalen
yeah.
had like such a good bounce back third quarter this game, and then followed by a great D White fourth quarter when we needed him to be clutch. Yeah, good little win for the Celtics today in Brooklyn. They were not bad today. I mean, they're obviously not there talent wise compared to the Celtics, but they put up a little run today, a little bit of a fight, and fortunately for us, they went on a really long cold shooting streak there in that game. It was like over 7 minutes where they hadn't scored a basket, so that helped out the Celtics tremendously. Securing that win today.
Yeah, yeah. Brooklyn's not that bad. I think they came in tonight with two wins or one win. I don't even remember.
2 wins on the season. Yeah.
Yeah, so but these are the games you have to win. You just can't, underestimate anyone at this point. You just gotta beat the teams you're supposed to beat and steal some games that you're not supposed to win. So good win.
Yeah, it was a good win. The Celtics have been having a couple of breaks now in between games. Extended couple days where they've gotten to rest a little bit too. So seeing that first half with the starters, well, specifically Jalen struggling in that first half, it took him a little bit to finally get warmed up. And coming out in that third quarter, he just had a really good third quarter. Minus the turnovers that he was having today, but at the same time, he was instrumental in building that lead up against for the Celtics against Brooklyn, and Derek White very instrumental in that fourth quarter as well to help seal it. He made some really big shots when the Celtics needed to help push and extend that lead to put it away for them.
Yeah, I think they had. I lost track, but I think they were up like a 14-3 run or something in that fourth. The
Yeah,
third, they had a big run too. So, good runs to try to close out that game.
yeah, definitely. I really think now this is the third win in a row for the Celtics. We're playing Brooklyn again going into this next game. And it's got to be feeling good in that locker room right now where it feels like the team is starting to figure stuff out and, kind of keep the win streak going a little bit. I think this is absolutely their longest win streak of the season so far. And yeah, let's see them try to, definitely get up to 2 wins above 500 and then, just keep trying to stack them on from there. And keep playing well, keep getting those reps every game. It can carry over to the next game, to the next game. Doesn't really matter who the opponent is. Anybody can win in this league. So,
Yeah, Friday, I believe, is a cup game. They're playing back at the Garden. So,
oh, okay.
a little extra motivation there.
Yeah, definitely. And you said it's back at the Garden.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That'll be juiced. A nice little juice crowd right there.
Yeah,
Is it a Friday game?
yeah, it's a
That
Friday game.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's gonna be rocking
Yeah,
in there for sure.
yeah. It's kind of weird. I mean, usually it's every other day or so, but Friday, but that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, just yeah, really good stuff for the in that game from the Celtics today.
Save for the weekend.
So let's
Mm.
see. both teams were pretty much shooting even in that first half. Celtics only really led by 1 point at the half there today, and going into that third quarter, the teams were still pretty close again. Brooklyn kind of keeping it within a couple points, but yeah, pretty much just the dry shooting spell for them absolutely killed them in that fourth quarter, and yeah, really good job by the Celtics there to take advantage of the Brooklyn Nets, missing those shots, getting back slowly on defense. And you could tell that they were still trying to push it even in that fourth quarter to really just, seal that win, put the team away. It really felt like this was one of the first times I've seen them actively trying to close out a game strong, not just trying to not lose the game. So really good job from them in that fourth.
Yeah, Brooklyn sort of threw the white flag up kind of early. It was a little surprising. It was like a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes left in the game, and then they started going deep into the bench. But
Yeah, I thought that was a little surprising too, because it only takes a couple shots from someone to see one go in, and then boom, you got a couple 3 pointers dropping in a row. A minute and a half left in the game. It's really still a lot of time in today's NBA, and we saw that with Harden in the game versus the Clippers as well. So yeah, really surprising from them. Maybe just chalking it up to we'll get them next time mentality, which whew, you don't really want to do that going into the next game against the Celtics when the Celtics can see that they put their heads down and kind of started, tucking their tail and being like, all right, we want to go home. And Celtics now know that they can come back into the game, come back next game and do the absolute same thing again. And, you know, Jalen didn't have his greatest game today, especially with the turnovers. He can definitely play better than that. And I can honestly see them, going into next game now with a lot of more confidence and just knowing that they can put this next win away.
yeah, they got all the motivation. I believe Jalen will come out stronger in the beginning of the game come Friday, and I think they'll find they'll balance their water, so to speak, and I think the starters will come out a little better.
For sure, for sure. I definitely, yeah. Like we said, like not the greatest first half from Jalen Brown, but we've seen it so many times this season where he comes out in the first quarter absolutely on fire, and I expect that to pick up again for the next game. He's got some tape now to look at, see what he can work with going into the next game, and no doubt in my mind that he's going to absolutely have a better game next game for sure.
Yeah, I think the turnovers too. I think it wasn't all the Celtics. I think Brooklyn was good with their hands. They had hands in passing lanes. They were deflecting passes. It was a little sloppy, but Brooklyn was active with their hands also. So it wasn't all Celtics.
They
But
they were, and they still have really good length for their team too.
yeah,
It's a lot of teams that we're gonna play. I'm just really floored and shocked when I see the teams that we play. Um, we used to have size, our team used to be bigger than them, and now to see our team be smaller than these teams that we used to pick on, and we're still beating, fortunately, but it's crazy to see the size disparity from last season to this season going against these teams.
yeah, it's even worse when Kata gets into foul trouble. He got three before the half or something, and he sat for an extended period of time, and
Mhm.
they really get small. I mean, Garza gives you what he can, but he's not going to battle
I
these
I
guys
thought
that big. So
Yeah, and I thought Nimi was great today too.
yeah,
Even with the foul trouble today, he was absolutely super aggressive from the jump. From the beginning of the game, he was, really playing physical. It got under the skin of the Brooklyn Nets, and I think it actually was a really competitive first half, and it really started from both teams in that first quarter. Really like getting physical with each other. Throwing elbows. Really getting into some scuffles, and I really like to see that from Nimi coming out in the first quarter of that game with that mentality to really say like, hey, you know, you guys are a young team, and we're not going to take you lightly. We're still going to play hard, and we want to beat you. And it was good to see that they didn't actually, kind of take it lightly coming into the game, being like, oh, just the Brooklyn Nets, we beat them all the time. But, good to see that from Nimi, and yeah, he had some really good defensive plays, but aside from the fouls, and tried to get some things done on offense. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to, score a couple buckets, like the one with the shot clock violation. Unfortunately, he got beat by the shot clock. But yeah, really good game from him, and um, you know, he's definitely been a big help in helping the Celtics get to above 500 now for the first time this season.
Yeah, it was nice. It was also nice to see Baylor come out. He contributed a little bit in there. He got some minutes. He was hustling on defense. You know, he hit a couple shots, made a couple passes. He made a great pass to Garza, who couldn't finish
Oh my
that
gosh,
behind the back
yeah.
wrap around there. But
Man,
yeah,
that was a bad fumble because that would have been a really great highlight there for
yeah,
Baylor Sharman.
yeah, yeah.
And,
It's good
go
minutes.
ahead.
Yep. No, I'm good.
And another highlight that I think should be on the career highlight reel is the Nemias Keita fake handoff and running to the hoop and slamming it. Man, that was just really smart play by him, and absolutely, man, it was great to see him convert that, finish that, and the stare down into the camera right after that. That was mean. That was mean. I enjoyed that. Like I
Yeah,
said, I loved everything Keita did this game. He was really solid today.
yeah, really aggressive. Yeah, on that move, the whole bench just stood up. You know, he just faked the whole Brooklyn team up. That was
He
nice,
did.
like you said.
It was really nice to see. And Peyton Pritchard, he had a pretty decent game too. It was pretty much him in that first half that was kind of keeping the team afloat.
Yeah,
Because um, uh, the Brooklyn Nets, they were shooting pretty well in that first half. Despite the fact that the Celtics were also shooting well in that first half as well, but it was mainly because of the 3-pointer from Peyton Pritchard today in that first half. He absolutely was killing it today. Really liked what we saw, especially from him down in that fourth quarter too, to kind of help the Celtics, seal the win. And yeah, really good stuff from him today. We definitely needed him. We've needed all these guys now, to get these wins 3 in a row, and it's nice to see them stepping up and getting the job done, and getting some wins that we should be winning for during this stretch right now.
yeah. Like you said, the shooting. I believe they shot over 50% for most of the game. 40 for the three. The good shooting kept them in the game. Excuse me, because of all the turnovers. Otherwise, they would have been chasing their tails tonight. But good shooting night for them, the whole team.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can actually take a look at those numbers right now too. Look at the box score here right now. Yeah, pretty good game from the starters today. Had 3 of the starters today in double figures, so didn't have to really rely too much on the bench today, but the bench still gave us some pretty good production today, especially from Hauser today, Minot, and Anthony Simons. And some of these guys were just giving you the defense that you needed too. Like you said, Baylor Shireman had some good defensive plays today. Minot was pretty good today, and yeah, good stuff. Not a great game from Jordan Walsh today, but still him,
Hmm.
being out there, he got into a little bit of foul trouble, but so he didn't play too much today, but the time that he was out there, I mean, he was still playing hard, right?
Yeah.
Picked up the fouls, but it is what it is. But he was a team worst -12. But this kind of stuff happens sometimes. You get into early foul trouble, it takes you out of rhythm of the game, and the coach is going to call on someone else to kind of come in and help step up in that void, where you're on the bench because of your fouls. So it was nice to see that from Minot today, especially 3 of 3 from 3-point range, and Anthony Simons came in and did a little bit of work too. Got 11 points. I think he was held scoreless in the last game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he didn't play much last game.
Yeah, so nice
Joe,
to see. Yeah, nice to see those guys come in and contribute for sure. But a decent shooting game today from Derek White, 6 of 15, 3 of 10 from three. But those 3-pointers that he was making came in the absolute, critical moments of the game where the Celtics were trying to push that lead, and we needed every shot we could get from Derek White today. So really great for him to come in and help seal that win. Yeah, 4 assists as well, 4 turnovers, but he had a couple steals, couple blocks. So he was playing great defense today. he had that really nice block on Porter Jr., who was trying to make that last second heave, and um, that's what that's what you can just expect from Derek White all the time. Always going to play defensively, even when he's not having the best shooting year to start. Definitely nice to see it picking up for him as we continue to get these dubs.
Yeah, it looks like Peyton's out of his little mini slump here, and he's shooting the
Hmm.
ball with a lot more confidence. And I anticipate, Derek starting to make some shots as we, move on along here, and yeah, getting into more of a rhythm. But like you said, all around game from Derek White. That's what you come to expect.
Oh yeah, yeah, just a very typical Derek White game, honestly. Jalen Brown 9 and 19 today. He was 29 points. That was the team high, and 3 of 7 from the 3 point line. He took 10 free throws today, made 8. So he was, still being aggressive today, especially in that third quarter to kind of help him get back into a rhythm to, help contribute to this win. The team was definitely lacking his scoring presence in that first half, but definitely really, really solid, third quarter from him to assert himself and help the Celtics get this win and push that lead in the fourth quarter. 8 turnovers. We've always said he's going to have about 4, 5, 6 a game probably, and this was definitely a little bit higher, than that average. And um, it is what it is. Like we said, Brooklyn, bigger team, longer. They were, like you said, they were getting their hands in there, just basically making it harder for Jalen, pretty much everybody today. They're playing pretty decent defense. It's just their shots started failing them in that fourth quarter. So, yeah, he'll clean that up, obviously.
Yeah, I know. With Brooklyn, Porter Jr. carried them through the first half. He sort of disappeared at moments. They sat him on the bench
Yeah.
for a period of time, which was another surprising move. But in the third, he
Hmm.
didn't play much. In the fourth, he started trying to pick it up, but he just was out of sync, out of rhythm. The first half, he was lights out. I think he had 18 in the first half, so he was shooting a
Yeah,
lot of.
it probably did have some sort of effect on him for him sitting for so long. Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised. We can actually take a look at his minutes today. He only played 25.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, he was 8 of 16. Yeah, I mean, 25 minutes in this game for your best player on your team. I mean, that's kind of
yeah, questionable move.
it's questionable, and but it's also like, are they saving him from the next game? He had 25 points. He was your best scoring option in that game for sure. Three
Yeah,
steals, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. So he was getting to the free throw line as well. Yeah, really, really weird why they decided to sit him for as long as they did. And like you said, yeah, coming back in after sitting for so long, trying to get a rhythm back, it's going to be hard
yeah.
for a lot of people in this game. But yeah, man, super questionable. I wonder if that's going to get brought up from the Brooklyn media
Yeah,
as far as why he sat for as long as he did.
yeah,
Really,
yeah.
really.
I was um I was switching between the Boston broadcast and the Brooklyn one.
Uh huh.
Yeah, the Brooklyn guys actually they put together a good broadcast. They even shared a birthday cake. I think it was some guy, one of the
Oh yeah.
comments over there eating cake during the game, which was kind of funny. They took a quick screenshot of that, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure it'll be brought up. I mean, there was a couple of questionable moves by the coach there, Fernandez. But
Man,
you
and
know,
that guy just, I mean, that guy complains. Like
yeah,
at almost every non-call, he's just at the refs' necks, and I'm wondering if they were just getting sick of it and they just decided to swallow their whistle. I mean,
yeah,
um,
it's tough.
it had to be the frustration of not scoring either. For that scoring drought had to have been getting to the coach. I mean,
Yeah,
but they hadn't been scoring. I hadn't been playing well that entire fourth quarter. So I don't know. Yeah, because you even saw like some of the players start to bark at the refs too. I really think that that probably contributed to them getting their heads out the game and contributing to that scoring drought because they were doing a lot of complaining. Yeah,
Yeah, Claxton thought he got his sports mixed up. He was playing a little football out there too. So yeah, they definitely were getting a little frustrated out there. You can see it.
yeah, yeah. It was a very physical game today. I was actually really shocked at how hard these teams were going at each other. But yeah, great game. It was really entertaining game today for sure. Peyton Pritchard, not the greatest game today. 6 of 16 shooting. Most of those shots he was taking from the 3-point line. He was really hot in that first half. Really hot in the first half, and cooled off. Definitely didn't play as well in the second half, but it was great that Jalen and Derek White helped contribute in that second half to close out the game because um, Pritchard was pretty much carrying that first half for sure for the team.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a little bit something from Simons and when he came in the second quarter. He gave you some little couple threes,
He
some
did,
good
yeah.
passes. Actually, the double pass into the hockey assist, he had a couple of those. It was good. He lost his guy a couple times. He on defense, but that's to be expected. But he gave you something in the first half, so
He
it's
really
good.
did, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. He totally forgot that, that pretty much that scoring that he was doing was in that first half. And he contributed 5 assists as well. Only played 26 minutes, so 11 points, 5 assists, and like you said, even that hockey assist that's not going to count. But that it means something. It means that the Celtics were moving that ball today. 25 assists. You'd like to see that maybe increase a little bit more, but um, it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
19 turnovers absolutely, um, like you said, were killing us today. It was really, yeah, really hard to see that. I mean, I wasn't getting too stressed out about it. I wasn't really anytime they committed the turnover, I didn't really ever feel scared about Brooklyn really extending the lead or putting this game away off of the turnovers because like we were still shooting pretty decent in that first half, so we were
yeah,
luckily able to stay within a fighter's punch. So um, yeah, it is what it is. They'll definitely clean that up, I'm sure. I can't really see them getting another 19 turnovers going into the next game. So that'll definitely be better, and hopefully helps contribute to an easier win. Even though this one was entertaining to watch.
yeah. It was a fun game to watch. It's a good win, good road win, and stack these wins together. And yeah, it was good. Saw a little bit of Baylor Simon. It was good to see, and we even saw a little bit of Xavier Tillman. For a few minutes there with the bigs and foul trouble. So
Yeah, it
there's
was okay game from him. Yeah, he didn't really have too many minutes. I think he
much. Yeah,
had what was it, a total of 5 minutes. So um, nothing really there in those 5 minutes to complain about. Didn't really do much. Just a -5, but that's whatever. But yeah, I mean that was a pretty good game. Definitely want to see them get this next one for sure. Put us a couple games above 500. The regular season schedule is looking like we're going to be playing Brooklyn again on the 21st, and it's going to start at 4:30. I don't know if I'm going to be doing post game for that, but um, I'm probably not. Sunday, November 23rd, playing Orlando. So got Brooklyn coming over, then Orlando, then Detroit. So a nice little 3-game homestand coming up right now for the Celtics. And then they go on the road for a couple games. And then a lot of back and forth out here in the Northeast region. They're going to be going to Cleveland, then New York, Washington, and then they come out west to for the Los Angeles Lakers game. Oh no, sorry, they're playing Los Angeles back at home. So
Yeah.
then they'll go out on a little. Wow, there's a lot of traveling back
Yeah.
and forth coming up, and then long extended road game trip from the 26th all the way out to the 3rd of January. About 5 games in a row on the road, then come back. Okay, all right. Go. The schedule's going to be a little tough now coming up for them, I think, with this traveling going on um, after the homestand. But yeah, I would like to see them win these next 3 games at home. Help push that lead, extend it. Still no news on Tatum if he's coming back this season or not. But I mean, the team puts them in a position, where he doesn't he can't refuse, to say no to try to go out there and want to win a championship. Basically I remember from what Wick Rosbeck was saying that, it's gonna be up to him and the team if they want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think this team can, you know, try to steer Tatum in that direction of wanting to play this season. Um, but does he? Man.
Yeah. It just depends on where they fall towards the playoffs. If they're
Yeah.
close, if they're competitive enough, they'll probably try to get them in. If not, it doesn't make sense if they're not in a playoff hunt.
Yeah. I mean, if they're not in the playoff hunt, I 100% am cool with him sitting down. Just come back next season. If he
Yeah.
says he's ready, I mean, he's ready. If the doctors say that he's ready, you can't get. It's like, what John Corrales says on his podcast. I mean, when you're 100%, you're 100%. You can't play at 110%, right? Like, there's no such thing as 110%. Once you're 100% and you're ready to go, and the doctors clear you, that's it. You can play. Um, I mean, the surgery and everything that he had was really fast. It's a new, form of surgery or new practice that these doctors have been doing, these surgeons. And I mean, we're seeing him already getting his workouts in, trying to strengthen the calf and everything. You know, now we have some new workout videos, and I mean, he's looking good. It
Yeah.
looks good, right? It looks good on tape. It looks good on film. It's just, how is he feeling after these, right? I think that's where, the fan doesn't think about that part after. They just say, oh, he looks good. He can play. But how's the pain treatment, the pain management going, especially with the injury, with a sports injury like that? You know, these kind of things can, affect a player psychologically, right? Maybe they're scared, they're hesitant when they get back on the court. So, maybe he does need that time to, get his mind right and start getting back into that rounding into form and everything, and making cuts and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah. I think, like you said, in practice, it's when he starts running with the other guys and he starts actually being more engaged. That'll be the tell whether he comes back or not. I mean, if he's just doing like shoot around by himself or these stretches and you know, then there's no indication. I mean, once he starts going full tilt, then we'll get a clearer view of what the plan is.
yeah, yeah, we'll see. I mean, crazy to see him doing a dunk. What was it, like 3-4 weeks ago now, from standing in place.
Yeah,
So you know, I would love it if he comes back this season and maybe we make that push. They figure it out, find a way to get into, the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Do they have the talent? I think I'm just running on hopium right now. I think that's what it is.
yeah. It's tough, man, because what they're going to be a lower tier team or a middling team. It's tough being in that middle to bottom range. You're
Yeah,
not
it
quite
is.
good enough to maybe go as far as you want. Then you're not gonna. Then you're not bad enough to get that draft pick. So it's tough in that tier the range.
I know. But I just think back to, when, the Isaiah Thomas teams were still making it into the playoffs and still being competitive. And it's just like, you add Tatum to that, to what we have on here, to what we have going right now.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be a solid team. just with Tatum's presence back in this lineup. And yeah, I mean, the way Jalen's been playing too, Tatum comes back, and maybe Tatum isn't himself. Maybe he does come back and he's playing at a higher level or at the same level when he left. But
Yeah.
you pair that with Jalen Brown, you get a little bit of, and you get Tatum in the lineup. I mean, it would do wonders, especially with the season that JB's having. But if Tatum comes back, teams are going to test him. These are, if he comes back, we're getting later into the season where these teams are going to play hard. Some teams are fighting for playoff position. They're absolutely, it's no one's going to take it easy on Tatum. He knows that. We all know that. So it's like, do we risk that? Do we risk Tatum, getting back out on the court? He's playing defense, and we get a tweak in the calf or something, right? It's really a lot to think about for an organization. But Tatum's the golden goose. So do the Celtics do it? Do they allow him? I don't think they do this year. As much as he wants to come back, as much as he will say, I want to play this season, I haven't taken it off the table, it is going to be really hard to convince Brad Stevens, Wick Grossbeck, the new billionaire owner, that, hey, Tatum's ready to go. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah. And you got some guys that don't haven't even played with them. Some of these newer guys, and everyone's going to readjust their game. And what does Jalen take a step back now that team's in the game, back in the lineup? It's going to be. It's
it's a
not
lot,
a smooth transition if he does come back. It's going to
right?
take some.
It would take another change in the offensive philosophy, the sets that they're going to be having this time around. They're going to have to figure it out mid-season. Do they do that to Joe Mazzulla this year? I don't know. I don't think that the Celtics would want us to mess that up. This is a proving it kind of year almost. Uh, you know, Not for me. I mean, maybe for me a little bit, but kind of like a prove it kind of year for Joe Mazzulla of like, hey, can you bring this team to the playoffs with no Jason Tatum on your team, with running Jalen as your first option? I think he's doing a decent job so far. There's a couple times where the Celtics have lost, but it comes down to just them rebounding and not closing a game out. But that's on the players. I don't really think you can put that on Joe, because he's been working with what he has, and we're at over 500 one game, but it's something right now. I think I think that's a really big win to, what is this, the first 14 games of the season now, 14, 15 games. I think that's a huge win for this coaching staff right now without Tatum.
Yeah, yeah. Joe's doing a good job this year. It's gonna show everyone what type of coach he is. He's sort of gonna be looked at without the Tatum factor, and he's doing a good job. I mean, he's a good coach. He's been around basketball his whole entire adult life, so he knows the game. It's just he gets the criticism sometimes with timeouts and whatnot and rotations, but he's a good coach. He knows the game, so I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he'll be fine going forward.
I think so too, and I honestly think that, I mean, you put Tatum into the game, it's not going to really be hard for a coach to adjust. I think it's going to be more for the players having to
Yeah.
adjust to a newer system, knowing the spots where they need to be now when Tatum's in the game compared to what they were doing earlier in the season. And yeah, I don't know if you want to mess that up and risk the injury to Tatum this year, another injury to Tatum this year, or him having to try to ramp up right now. Going into like a you know some dogfights in the playoffs, because I mean, like, it won't be easy for the Celtics, especially if starting off as a lower seed potentially. So, do you put a Tatum in a dogfight with the team that would be leading the conference at the time when the season ends? So you know it's um it's a lot to think about, and when we talk about it, it really does feel like maybe it's not in the best interest of the Celtics this year to do it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, unless best case scenario, maybe a top four seed or something, and then you have a glimpse of maybe Eastern Conference Finals championship run. Then you maybe you open the door to Tatum coming back, but middle to bottom tier team, it's gonna be tough because everyone's gonna adjust, and he's gonna adjust to everyone's game. And does he take a step back, saying, "Oh, Jalen's been doing it all year. I just want to fit in," or does he come in aggressive? And
Right.
there's a lot of variables to it.
Definitely a lot of variables. Yeah, so much to think about. You can't like, especially, and then when you're like trying to maybe like build up some guys's stock value when it comes to the trade deadline this year, and every well, by the time Tatum comes back, trade deadline will have passed. But
Mhm.
if we see what the Celtics do before the trade deadline, it could also signify um, where their thought process is as going into the second half of the season, if they're going to expect Tatum back, where they're so if they buy or bring in something that can help Tatum and this team make a push in the playoffs. um we'll see what the Celtics do. I really think once we get to that All-Star break, that we'll kind of have like a more of a picture of what the Celtics are going to be planning as far as Jason Tatum coming back this year or not.
Yeah, just a little bit more on that traded deadline thing. I think everyone knows what Anthony Simons is. He's just a scorer. He doesn't defend very well. He's
Hmm.
small, but Joe's got to play him. It can't be a game where he doesn't play him because he's just affecting their trade value. If the kid doesn't get on the court, no one, everyone's going to say, if he can't play with the Celtics, who can he play with? It's just going to emphasize his deficiencies. He's just got to play.
He does, because I think if he doesn't get traded this year, which honestly I think he might not get traded, I honestly think he becomes a different player. He unlocks into a different player if Tatum is back in the line, is back on the team. With the space that Tatum and Brown would create, you got Derek White out there, and then you're big. I mean, it could be a lot of space, especially to work with, especially for Simons playing with that kind of lineup, and he could eat. I really feel like he could have a way better season. Kind of like what we saw when Derek White came from San Antonio.
Yeah.
And I really feel like he could be put on that kind of trajectory as far as you know finding a role and scoring for the team, because Derek White wasn't the biggest 3-point shooter when he first got on the team. He was a little timid as well, didn't really want to shoot it, didn't want to step on toes until he found his confidence shooting the three, these past couple seasons. And we know Minot isn't afraid to shoot it. It just would absolutely help with the better shot selection he would have with Tatum in the lineup. And I think that if you put them together, if he's still here next year, he will his definitely his scoring playing time would increase. I
Yeah.
think for sure. So maybe maybe give him his bench minutes. He only had what 10 today, but that he's played more minutes obviously this season. Um, yeah, I just think that with better shot opportunities, better creation, and everything like that, with Tatum being back in, he can be a solid player for us. But right now, just without Tatum, it's a little bit harder for him, I think, in
Yeah.
to kind of find himself in the offense, because everybody else has been learning how to play this new system as well without Tatum this year. So it's even harder for him. But um, when Tatum is on the team, a lot of things unlock for the team.
Yeah, there's moments everything seems disjointed, guys still learning each other. And yeah, I mean, Joe plays regard to, any given moment. It's D White, Pritchard, and Simons. Guys don't know, and Simons isn't a point guard, and Pritchard's a shoot first guy. So it's there's a lot of moving parts. Like you said, Tatum comes back. It's gonna put everyone in their proper slot, more or less, and he helps the team win the boards. He does so much for this team once he does come back.
He really does because we've even seen it with Sam Hauser. This season he has not really been the same shooter the past couple weeks, and you know, I have to think that couple these past couple weeks now where he's been in a little bit of a slump, it's because of his changed role on the team. He has lost a little bit of minutes right
Yeah.
now to some of these younger guys, and um, he's doing he's having to do a different job than he normally would have when Tatum was on the team. You see him dribbling a lot more. His shot selection that he's taking, his open shots. I mean, he has the ball in his hand a little bit more than he's used to, I think, and it's kind of been affecting him getting into his rhythm and stuff. But when Tatum's on the team, that's absolutely no problem for him because Tatum is out there creating for him, finding the open Sam Hauser. I mean, Sam and Hauser was just mainly the catch and shoot 3-point guy on the team. You find Sam Hauser in the spot, he puts the shot up, and most of the time it was going in. Um, a little bit harder for him this season without Tatum, drawing the defenses, getting him that open look. So a lot of guys are out there suffering from, Tatum not being in the lineup, but still able to hold their own, still able to, play their role that Joe has them playing this season and make a difference in it and helping the team get some wins. So, these guys are giving it a lot this year, and it's really good to see. A lot of people aren't going to be happy with the results where we end up in the draft, but I'd rather see a team playing hard, learning with each other, than just throwing it in and being like, oh, we'll get this unproven player on our team, hopefully in a lottery that is not really rigged for, the worst team to win it.
Yeah, just rather win. Just give it the good old effort and see where we end up. And if we're in the playoffs, that's great. If we're not, and we're playing hard and competitive, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I just don't want this team to tank and hope for a draft pick. I mean, I keep going back to Dallas last year. I mean, they got the number one pick in the year before they were in the championship against us. I mean, there's no odds that we're going to get the top pick or a top three pick or whatever.
Right, exactly. So it's like anybody that wants the team to tank, I mean, I don't really get that. I would 100% rather them see them try to figure it out all together as a team. We have Brad Stevens as our GM. I've said this before. The guy's a freaking wizard, and do can really do no wrong in my eyes since he's been up in the front office. And like this team, even if they're not, the most talented on the court at times, Brad Stevens, knows the kind of players that he wants on his team, the kinds of guys that he wants in that locker room, and it's obviously 100% paying off. Even still, like with the talent disparity that's on this team now, these guys are one game above 500 now, and it's a credit to the front office, to the coaching and everything right now that we can even be in this position and potentially be in a playoff spot at the end of this season. Yeah, I mean, we don't have the stacked teams from last year, but look what happened. We lost last year. It doesn't matter. Didn't matter who was on the team. So, we're in a position now this year to compete. We're still in a position to compete. We're not like other organizations, and we are very lucky that we're able to still watch entertaining basketball. Yeah, we didn't want it wasn't the best opponent tonight, but hey, you know what? They played hard for a while until their shot making cooled down. Celtics took advantage, and that's what good teams have to do in this league. They have to take advantage of other teams not making shots, and that is exactly the kind of lessons that this young Celtics team can afford to learn going on for the rest of the season now. 14, 15 games in. This is really good building blocks that we're building right here early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the DNA still from the championship teams. I mean, Derek White, Payne Pritchard, Jalen. I
Yep.
mean, they're the guys that are going to close out games if we're close, and they're the guys that are going to build leads. If if the other team falters. So I mean, we have that going for us, and
We do, yeah. Championship pedigree on the team. Still, we got leaders on the team who know what it takes to close these games out. Um, it's going to get hard at some points in the season. It's going to happen. Guys are going to get frustrated, and it is what it is. It's part of the game. It's just you take it game by game, and this is what they're doing right now. This is their mentality, game by game. They say it in their post game press conferences as well, and right now that is the mentality that these guys need to have. They can't come into this saying every game, like, oh, we were champions a couple years ago. No, that none of that matters anymore. None of that matters. It's what you do, you know, to get right for the next game, win or lose. So these guys are never gonna, put their heads down and quit. They're always gonna compete hard, and that's what you need out of a young team. We got young guys on this team, but we're lucky enough to have veterans as well on the team too that can really like, hey, it's not going to be easy. Like, we're playing Brooklyn tonight. It's not going to be an easy game. You have to play your hardest still, so
yeah.
really credit to all the guys that Brad has brought into this organization to keep this team competitive. And yeah, I can't. I hate it when teams when people want the Celtics team to just throw in the towel and lose. It's not what they do. They were down by 10+ points today, and managed to. I'm pretty sure they were down double digits today. Managed to come back and get this dub and win it by double digits. So they lost a couple double digit leads, I believe, in this game. But what they did, they bounced right back, didn't put their heads down, kept shooting, kept playing great, kept playing hard, and secured that win.
Yeah, they definitely the shooting kept them in the game. Yeah, I mean the first half, Brooklyn first quarter actually they built that lead like you said, double digits, and from that point on, the Celtics made a couple of runs. The second half, it was what they were. It was a 2 point game or a 1 point game or something.
Hmm.
And then going into the third, the Celtics had a big like 14-3 run
Yeah.
towards the end and 17-3 run in the fourth. They just put their foot on the pedal and just took the game over at that point.
Oh yeah, it was yeah, really good coaching I think today as well. Brad Stevens. Joe Mazzulla took a couple timeouts early in that game when Brooklyn was coming back, and then eventually took a lead. And I thought they were good timeouts to help the team, like, hey, calm down, let's get back on track, do what we do. And even with all the turnovers and everything, the Celtics still played, tried to play their game. They had they had really great execution. You know, for some of these plays and some really great hustle plays today as well. When we saw that they had missed, like, what was it, three pointers in a row, and then they were still hustling to get those offensive rebounds. Found Derek White open to hit a three. I mean, it was just really good stuff from the team today overall. Like I said, it was a really entertaining game. Just battling from both teams for those first 3 quarters, back and forth. Yeah, great game. I had fun watching that one.
Yeah, I love the guys. All these kids are playing hard. I mean, the Shiremans, the Walshes, even Hugo when he gets into the game. All these guys are playing hard. Everyone's got something to prove, more or less.
Yep.
All these guys have to prove to themselves in the league that they're NBA talent, and they're doing that. They're opening a lot of eyes, and it's good to see the hustle and the teamwork.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No Hugo minutes today, which was kind of a surprise. Did he play last game versus the Clippers?
I don't believe so. No.
No. I'm wondering if that ankle tweak, if he's just kind of Joe's just kind of giving him some rest right now, because I remember he tweaked his ankle 3 games back. Sure, that was not feeling really well after that. So, not on the injury report, but have to think that a couple DMPs right now, coach's decision. Maybe they're just trying to let him heal up a little bit, especially with the more extended time during, between these games that we've been having. Um, but yeah, he's got to be coming back in probably the next, probably next game. We'll see what happens, but yes, no Hugo minutes tonight, but everybody else pulled through tonight. just a really, really good game from the whole team today, despite all the turnovers today. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the next game now. I want to see them get another win back to back against Brooklyn, this time over at the TD Garden. Other than that, my man, I really have nothing else to cover right now or talk about. Your Celtics win 113-99 tonight, and they are now 8-7 on the season, one game above 500. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here, my man. Thank you guys for tuning in today to the Dynasty Proud post game podcast right here. Follow us over here at Dynasty Proud 18 on X, and then you can follow Boston Sports Entertainment Network as well. BSEN_617. I'm the Parquet Poppy. This right here, my boy Adrian, the NBA swing pass man right here. You can find us on X. And we'll see y'all in the next one for the next postcast. Not sure when that'll be, but we'll be on here. Y'all will see us.
Yep. Everyone just follow along, jump in the chat, just need following, we'll build it up.
That's right. Shout out to Lily in the comments today. Appreciate you. She said, "You don't choose Boston sports. Boston sports chose you." That's a fact right there. That's a fact. We did not choose it. It chose us. Love this team. Love Boston sports in general. We're here to talk about it anytime on our socials. And like I said, like Adrian said, jump in here in the comments. Let us know you're watching. We'll chat with y'all. But until the next game, y'all have a good one. Peace out and go Celtics.
Oh.
Ends tonight here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.